Hey everyone, Happy New Year. So this year presents to me another personal challenge, and in response, returning to a structured plan with my family. We've done this for quite a number of years now, and where we'll be journeying through the Bible. But this time, I'm putting myself to doing something like this as a challenge. And what I'll be undertaking is to reflect on my daily readings, and I've attempted this approach before sometime last year, but life happened that I couldn't keep up. But I would try as much as possible to ensure that each day I share a brief reflection to invite engagement with my personal journey and learnings. I believe this will bless somebody. I believe someone will connect with this and see how we're able to go this far in life. And what's guiding us, the most important relationship, which is God. So if you can occasionally catch up, drop comments, engage. And I am planning to follow the Daily in the World 365 by Faith Baptist Church in the United States, available on U version, and I will put the link in the comment below. So okay, so this is my day one reflection. I would say a man was created intentionally and purposefully, and the conviction is rooted in scripture, and it is affirmed through observation of God's dealing with humanity. And of course, you'll find this in Genesis 1 6 to 20, Genesis 1 26 to 28. And from the beginning, we see that Adam was entrusted with stewardship over creation and granted dominion, not exploitation, but as a responsibility. That you see in verse 28. And central to this, God's design was fellowship, and is still fellowship even up to this time. God desired relationship with humanity, walking and communing with man in the garden. You see that in verse 15, chapter 2, and then in chapter 2, verse 18. So this pattern continues throughout the scripture. In the New Testament, we see Jesus Christ came as a visible image of the invisible God, and he came as a visible expression of God on earth. And that can be confirmed in Matthew 1:23. He carried God within him, and he lived among us with a clear purpose. And we see that in Matthew 2 1 to 3. Matthew 2 1 to 2, particularly. His coming was not accidental nor symbolic, it was redemptive. So through Jesus, God sought to restore the broken relationship, that which was lost in the Garden of Eden through the disobedience of the first Adam. You can confirm this in Matthew 1:21. His life, his death, and resurrection form a complete narrative of redemption, that God truly wanted to redeem us and reconnect us back. And that was the reason why Jesus came as a redeemer. Jesus came to save the world, to proclaim God's rule, and to reveal the Father. In him, God demonstrated his desire not to abandon humanity, but to draw them back to himself. Christ was God made visible, accessible, and relational. See Matthew 1:23. And in the light of this, I believe God's purpose for my life reflects this principle. And I was created to steward his work responsibly, to cultivate fellowship with him, as the psalmist reflected in Psalm 1 to 3, and to make Christ known to others like you through the wisdom and the reverence of God. And as Jesus Christ reflected the Father, I am called to also reflect God wherever I find myself, just as you that is listening to this. Our words, our action, my conduct, your conduct should point beyond just ourselves. It should point to the character of God, the character of Jesus. So, purpose, therefore, I'd say, now I mentioned that we're created for a purpose, and we're designed for a reason, we're here for a reason. So it is not an abstract, it is a lived experience, should be a lived experience. It is lived daily through obedience, through fellowship, and faithful representation of God in every space that we occupy. So if this reflection resonates with you, continue this journey, return daily for the next reflection, share your insights with someone who is walking in similar faith, and allow these daily readings to shape you, not just you alone, but also shape those around you, not just your person, your thinking and your living. I pray that I hope you've been blessed. God bless you and thanks for listening. Cheers. Bye.